What did that ovation mean to you, and just be able to get recognized like that?
No, super thankful for all the fans here over the years. They've been amazing, and just wish we could have won today. But go up to Cleveland, hopefully win a few games, get on a roll, and get going for the postseason.
Were you aware all that was going to happen? You went out there by yourself?
Not really. Honestly, I was just told right before it was going to happen. I didn't really know, but yeah.
Did it hit you when you left the field that this could be your last home stand in the last regular season game?
Yeah, kind of that moment then. But just kind of really just focused on trying to do whatever I can to help this team win games. We got a lot of ball games left to be played, so focused on winning.
You've been through a lot here. You've been here forever. Is it an emotional moment for you?
A little bit, but I try not to. Trying to just stay focused on the postseason, to be honest with you. Maybe at the end of the year, if we ever look back and reflect on it, but right now, my mindset is win.
That's Alex Bregman after yesterday afternoon's loss to the Seattle Mariners, the last home regular season game of the year for the Astros. I mean, sounds like this is it. If you hear that quote, I don't know how you can hear anything else. Would be great if the upset of the century happens and Bregman ends up back next year, especially given how rough of a day Shea Whitcomb had playing third base. He had 3 errors.
Yeah, I felt bad for him.
But you heard it in that answer. And I feel like Joe Espada making that happen for him. I mean, he's aware these players talk, and players talk about the bosses and about their future. And I'm sure a lot of Bregman's teammates know that this could be it here in Houston for him. Very cool move by Joe Espada to do that. Continue to tip a hat to him, especially with the way the Astros have come back from where they were. But it does feel like it is very soon to be done for Alex Bregman here in Houston. And it does beg a question, an interesting one that was asked online by Astros Optimism 2. Who had the best Astros career? Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa, George Springer. I'm not sure it's close because Bregman was here the longest. I know that shouldn't necessarily overshadow those two, but I mean, it does to me. He was here for the entire run. So he had the better Astros career. I get that you can take a look at the awards and the resumes and everything like that. But to me, I will think Bregman, even on his next team, as a borderline career Astro, where with Springer and Correa, I will not.
Yeah, I think the longevity definitely helps the conversation for Alex because just being here, and they all came up right around, pretty close within the same time between like 2014, 2016. So like it's not that much of a difference, but the thing that helps Springer the most is definitely the World Series MVP. Like that has to carry some kind of weight in the argument that yes, Bregman has 2 championships, but Springer just has that MVP in the World Series in 2017 that I think helps him out a little bit. But I lean Bregman too because of the longevity. I mean, because he was here longer, like you look at their peak seasons, Springer and Bregman, it's very easy because it's pretty much 2019 for both of them. Springer hit 39 home runs. Alex Bregman hit 41 that year. I mean, you've got 2 guys that were at the complete, peak of their careers happening in the same exact time. So I lean Bregman. And even though Bregman doesn't have some of the, awards, I mean, Correa is the only one with a Gold Glove, which is a shame because Springer and Bregman are both Gold Glove quality players. We all know that. I mean, so I think it's Bregman. I love Carlos Correa. He's my favorite Astro of the 3.
Correa had the quote. The quote
helps so much.
The quote helps Correa out because of those 3, as far as awards, Correa has really the least. Right? Because, I mean, he's only got 1 ring. He's got a Gold Glove. He's got 2 All-Stars. Springer had 3, 2 Silver Sluggers, 1 World Series MVP.
Gosh, I thought Carlos had more Gold Gloves than that even. Yeah, I mean the thing with Carlos and the anti-Carlos thing is like the massage. Like I Springer and Bregman both had their injuries, but Carlos had always had the weird ones that never really made sense. So that definitely would move him down a little bit. But I would go it's Bregman, Springer, or Correa for me of the probably soon to be all former Astros. I know someone asked earlier, do you think Bregman once it's like as soon as he leaves will have regret? Because I'm sure Springer's got to have some regret. At least signing with Toronto. Maybe not staying in Houston. But I mean, Carlos hasn't done anything. And that's the thing about like these guys leave and the Astros keep winning. And the guys that leave have very little success. Charlie Morton obviously has a World Series. Joe Musgrove has had some success. But like the big name guys, Cole, Correa, Springer, have accomplished nothing.
It's interesting. It depends on where he signs, I think. I mean, I would imagine that George Springer regrets having gone to Toronto because Toronto's had a lot of talent, but they've been the Chargers of baseball over the years. Maybe less catastrophic injuries, but a lot of underachieving. Carlos went to Minnesota. I can't imagine Daniela likes Minnesota.
Yeah.
I can't imagine she likes it.
They got the Gucci store there. That's what he said at his press conference.
It snows there more than any major metropolitan area. It is a miserable existence in the offseason. I'm sure he doesn't stay there during the offseason, but I don't know if he likes it up there. I mean, what place has more Antifa riots than Minneapolis other than Seattle? Bregman, I wonder where he ends up next. I know some people have suggested Boston. I know some people have suggested New York. Are those places that have a better chance to win in the future than the Astros? That also is a question that is interesting because I think for Correa and Springer, the Astros kept doing things that I bet they didn't expect to happen once they left.
Yeah, I mean, Springer, I get why he went to Toronto because they looked like they were the next Astros. You have Bo Bichette, you have Vlad Guerrero Jr., you had Kevin Biggio, who like at the time, like people thought of not as high as those guys, but like thought of fondly. So you thought they were going to win. Carlos' situation is, I don't think when he first hit free agency, I don't think we knew the extent of this ankle, this rod or whatever it is that's in his ankle that then prevented him from signing with both the Mets and the Giants. Like that wasn't really out there until that disaster offseason where he got kind of ended up getting stuck in Minnesota. But like if Alex ends up in New York, like yeah, like if they keep Soto, but they're not going to do that. They're not going to keep Soto and get Alex Bregman.
Right.
They're,
and if you have to pick between the two, you're picking Soto.
Of course. I mean, Boston is a one game above 500, so I wouldn't put them as above the Astros. I wouldn't say there's really anyone in the American League that I would, unless the Astros get, just dominated in the playoffs by someone. Like Bregman's going to find a team that's like Minnesota, that's like Toronto. I saw someone said the perfect offseason for the Detroit Tigers is getting Bregman and Verlander.
Donna suggested Arizona on YouTube at ESPN Houston. He did buy a house in Arizona, right?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Okay.
That puts them in a pretty, gosh, that division's just so tough.
But they're having a surprisingly good season. I thought last year was a fluke for them, and they're doing it again.
Yeah, I mean, they have 88 wins. They're in third place in their division, but like they're just as much of a threat as anyone.
Yep.
I just feel like he ends up in a place that's one of these teams that's close to 500 right now, and they overpay him a little bit, and they hope that he's the catalyst.
Mm-hmm.
And thus, he's in a worse position to win than he would be if he just stayed for a little bit less money.
It's very interesting to see what's going to happen on that front. A couple of texts from the 281. Carlos Correa has had the best career of those three at mound visits. That's true.
It's pretty good at them. Well, but you know what? Mound visits are one thing. Did Carlos Correa ever turn around a pitcher's entire career like Alex Bregman did with Hunter Brown this year? Like, Hunter Brown is who Hunter Brown is because of Alex Bregman.
You're going to miss the baseball IQ that Bregman brings to the table. From the 281, what if Bregman and Dusty go to Seattle?
Vomit.
Well, they don't have the money to do it. Seattle's not going to pay anybody. They're not going to give Bregman what he wants. They're not going to give Dusty what he wants. All they care about is profits and spin zoning to their fans. That this is fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Dusty got paid like less than like $2 million by the Astros, but to Bregman, yes, I don't see them doing that.
Another from the 281. Sports markets are still pissed, other ones, that Breggy and Altuve never apologized to the point where they don't even want them as free agents. They kind of did apologize, right?
They just did a poor. Yes.
What were they
apologized.
supposed to do in that spot? I don't know. It felt like they were forced to do it. Like they were held at gunpoint by either Rob Manfred or somebody else.
Yeah, by a bad PR staff for sure. No offense to people that work there, but you guys.
They handled that
suck.
poorly, and I felt like they should have said everybody else is doing it.
Especially because
I really wish they had done that. Like everyone else is doing it.
And like it's now because of the way they handled it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens. They handle it so poorly, but people do take their apologies more seriously because people who actually take the time to go watch all the interviews that the media did with all the players as soon as the clubhouse opened, including Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve, was much better. The prepared thing was a disaster.
Yeah, it just didn't. You could tell it. They were reading from a script, and the script was not a great one. I don't buy for a second that all these markets are so opposed to signing those players.
They've all had Astros.
Once they're on the team and playing well, you're gonna shut up.
The biggest cheater of them all already played for the Yankees, Marwin Gonzalez.
Mm-hmm.
He also played for the Twins, which Carlos Correa does also. They've all had it. I mean, the Red Sox cheated, and they've had Astros on that team. They've also had Marwin Gonzalez. Like, all these teams have had that are like big-time contenders have brought in Astros of some kind. Even the Mariners, like, yes, he got traded in 2017, but Teoscar Hernandez was on the Astros at the time. So at some point in 2017. So, like, I think that's over. I think that's one thing that, like, you say it, and then they sign the contract, and the fans go out and they buy the jersey. Like, I don't believe that. I'll never believe it. It's not real.
It's not real. Like birds? Oh.
That's a good question.
Interesting. Never seen a baby pigeon, have you?
No.
That's true.
No, I haven't.
No one has because they're not real.
They all just come out the same size.
Little rats with wings. Yeah, they just spontaneously appear.
There were a lot
because the government makes them.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Liberal city like Chicago.
Yeah.
Government surveillance. Huh?
Yeah. Especially during, the weirdest part though is during St. Patrick's Day when they dye the river green because there's green poop everywhere. It's really strange.
Or they drink the water.
Yeah, they drink the water because they dye the river green for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I saw that happen once. It was fun.
Yeah, it's great. But then there's just green poop everywhere for like 6 weeks.
I wonder if the Astros, realizing what Shea Whitcomb just did yesterday, think to themselves, you know what, TM.
I mean, it won't be Shea. It'll be Bryce Matthews.
I wonder about that.
Yeah, I think
or
it'll
if
be
they move
Bryce.
Pena over to third with the struggles he's been having of late.
Yeah, Bryce Matthews and Jeremy Pena will be the left side of your infield next year, unless they went out and spent money, I guess, on like a cheaper third baseman. But I still think that they're most likely just gonna. I think they'd be more likely to invest in a new first baseman.
I wonder if they do the service time BS where they wait to make Bryce Matthews the third baseman until like June or July.
What's nice about that is that if they don't, there's incentives now in the collective bargaining agreement where if you bring someone up right away and they win Rookie of the Year, you get extra draft compensation to try to avoid what happened to George Springer. The reason why there was never even an offer made because they knew he wasn't coming back. So like they've put incentives in to try to avoid that again. But even the Pirates did it with Paul Skeens, but they called him up early enough to where he's going to win Rookie of the Year. So the Astros can't do that anymore. You're a real team.
You're big boys.
Yeah.
You put on your big boy pants.
Yeah. If Bryce is going to be your everyday third baseman next year, he's going to be on the opening day roster.
Okay.
And in the lineup, I would think.
I would think too, but you never know.
It is baseball.
These organizations are cheapos. Amazingly, the Astros are considered not cheap by many.